In this problem, we need to find the dimensions of a piece of cardboard that's going to be used to make an open box. So we're told, first of all, that the area of the rectangular piece of cardboard is 560 square inches. So if I label the sides x and y, then I know that x times y equals 560. So that's my first equation. And then we're going to cut a 5-inch square from each corner and turn up the sides, and that will create a box with a volume of 750 cubic inches. So now I know that my sides are going to be y minus 10 and x minus 10, because we've taken 5 inches off of each end, so total of 10 inches. So now we've got x minus 10 and y minus 10 for the base of the box, and we know that the height of the box is 5 inches. So the volume is the length times width times height. So 5 times x minus 10 times y minus 10 gives me 750. So now I have two equations and two unknowns, and I'll solve this system to find the length and width. So here's my system of equations, and I can start off by solving the first equation for either x or y, and it really doesn't matter which one. I'm going to solve for y. And so I have y equals 560 over x. And then I can use substitution to plug that into the second equation. So then I have 5 times x minus 10 times 560 over x minus 10 equals 750. And now I'll FOIL this and distribute the 5. Well, let's see. It's easier if I just divide both sides by 5 to get rid of that 5. So then I have x minus 10 times 560 over x minus 10 equals 150. And now I can FOIL and work this out. So I've got 560, because the x is canceled, minus 5600 over x minus 10x plus 100 equals 150. So I'll subtract the 100 from both sides and the 560 from both sides. And let's see, what does that give me? So negative 5600 over x minus 10x equals, so we've got negative 5600 over x minus 10x equals negative 510. And I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative x. I want to get the x out of the denominator, and since all the terms are negative, multiplying by a negative is going to turn all the terms positive, which is easier to work with. So then I have 5600 plus 10x squared equals 510x. And now I have a quadratic equation to solve, and I can do that using the quadratic formula, and I'll start by getting my terms all together and dividing by 10, since everything's easily divisible by 10. Okay, so I've got this in standard form for a quadratic equation, and we have a equals 1, b equals negative 51, and c equals 560. So I'll use the quadratic equation to solve this. Okay, so I've used the quadratic formula here, and I've gotten 35 or 16 as solutions for x. And if I plug in 35 for x, I get 16 for y, and clearly that if I plug in 16 for x, then I'll get 35 for y. So one of the dimensions is 16, and the other one is 35, and those are in inches, and that's my final answer for that problem.